I'm Cara Jo. You guys are all cool enough to now call me Co-Jo, if you want. And I want to tell you a couple of things that I'm obsessed with. I am also obsessed with making stuff. I love calligraphy and knitting and embroidery and everything. I'm also obsessed with the weather, but not like the precipitation and the snow, because I actually hate that. Like, I'm from Michigan, I'm totally over it. I love the graphs and the trends that weather makes, except for in Colorado, it's extremely unpredictable. I love tracking everything in my life. I track all of my fitness stuff with Strava and Fitbit, and even my car has a little thing that tracks its gas mileage, just in case it gets out of hand. I even have a Nest and a Ratio, just because, gotta track that too. And there's this huge trend with all of this smart home technology and this wearable technology. I got this new Fitbit the other day, it's teal, it's awesome. But I keep wondering to myself, where is my wearable data? And so I decided to combine my love for basically everything and solve this problem by creating a weather scarf. Yeah, I can now have my data and wear it too. The idea behind a weather scarf is that one row on the scarf represents one day of the year. And the color that is assigned to the row or day is the average temperature for that day. You gotta do some math and stuff to get that. But I hate doing math, so I grabbed a weather API and I pulled down a week, a month, or a year worth of historical weather data. Get the average temperature for any zip code that I can dream up. Actually don't know how hard it is to find a free weather API service that will do that for you, but I found one. So then I take all of this data and I throw it into a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet, because I like clouds. And then I take this very elaborate thing that I've made here and I assign colors to it throughout the year, and I do it 1 year at a time, but not day by day. You ask, Cara, why would you do that? Because this makes it really, really easy to knit, because you want to plan everything out. It also makes it really easy to get evenly distributed colors, because I'm not a heathen, and I like that. There's a lot of math that goes into it, but we're not going to bore you with that. Basically, the premise is you take the entire year, you order it from lowest to highest temperature, you assign 10 color groups, and you're good. I picked these groups, these 10 color groups, based on the average weather temperature for the United States. Also, I like pink, yeah. So I got these 10 colors, they're really great, and I decided to just go to town. So I'm making this thing, and it's really, really great. And I show up at these knitting groups, these stitchin' bitches, and I legitimately have a giant tub of yarn, and I plop it down on the table. I'm like, you're gonna have to move your beer so I can knit. And people, they're like, what are you doing? What are you making? And they're like, oh my God, that is so cool. Tell me more about that. So then I just go into my, the spiel I just gave you. And they're like, that's actually really cool, but I could never do that. That's way too much work. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's easy. All you have to do is gather 365 days worth of weather data, get the average temperatures, assign the colors. You have to figure out what pattern you're gonna use, because you gotta get the yardage for the yarn, you gotta get the tools, you gotta measure, just a lot of work. It's actually really exhausting. Yeah, and if you're me, you have an iPad that never goes to sleep, so you can keep track of where you are, because the spreadsheet's so big it crashes Google Drive. So I like to encourage people, and I think, hey, yeah, you can do this, and I'm gonna tell you how. Yeah. So I'm writing this blog post I wrote. It's very long. It took me 4 days to write it. And I made this user-friendly version of the spreadsheet that I'm using. And as I'm doing it, I'm just like, this is actually really stupid. Why am I even wasting my time? But I've been around the block for 31 years. So I've learned a couple things that when you have these really stupid ideas, I've had a lot of them, you can sometimes turn them into something really great, like an app for weather, knitting. So I am currently in the process of learning JavaScript to build a weather scarf app that you can So someday in the future, you'll be able to just put in a zip code, select one of my 5 pre-programmed patterns, and get a weather scarf pattern. Yeah. It's slow going, it's coming along, but even when it gets slow and you get really frustrated, you're gonna end up with something really cool.